What's going on, guys? Today I am showing you the Click BIOS 4 for the MSI Z97 MPower motherboard. Now, this BIOS is the same BIOS that is used in almost all of the other Z97 motherboards from MSI. The only difference, of course, is maybe a different skin and, of course, a few different options depending on your motherboard, but everything else should be pretty much around the same. So what you get when you first get into the BIOS is this main screen with all of our different settings and everything, and up top gives us our time, our CPU that we have installed, our current CPU frequency, current DRAM frequency, and of course our memory size. Over here we have our boot device priority, and you can actually change these right in here. You can go ahead and select them and move them over to change your boot device priority right here. Makes it extremely easy. It also lets us know the version number of the BIOS, so if you're aren't sure if you have the latest BIOS, you can see your version number right there. Over here we have a live temperature of our CPU as well as our motherboard. Over here we have two buttons. What they do is this one, of course, will enable the OC Genie mode on the motherboard. This one enables XMP, so if your memory supports XMP, which it should, you can go ahead and click this and it automatically sets that XMP profile for you very easily. Now up here, it lets us know that F12, that is our shortcut key to take a screenshot. Very easy to do. If you have a USB drive installed, it's going to save it right to that USB drive. Here's our favorites, so we can go ahead and set up favorites and set up all of that stuff right in here on this mode. Up here we can click and we have a ton of different languages, so if you don't speak English or you would prefer a different language, you can go ahead and change the BIOS. And this button actually, the X button actually closes out the BIOS and will allow you to save and reset. We'll hit no because we want to stay in here. Now we'll go to our main settings here. So this is our main settings on your motherboard. So we have system status, which we can go into, and of course we can change all the stuff. It lets us know, what SATA drives we have installed, or what SATA drives we have installed, and all of that stuff. All of the basic information here. Going into advanced, this is all of your settings for your motherboard. So this is the things that you would normally see on other BIOSes, just to set everything up. Like, if you want to turn on integrated graphics, if you want to set up your USB configuration, all that stuff is in here. We're not going to go into each one because it would just take forever, and this video would be 30 minutes long. And I know you guys don't want to sit through that. So we'll go back, we'll go into our boot, and we can set our boot device priorities as well as setting, your full screen logo, your go-to BIOS. All that stuff can be set in here very easily. Security, what you can do is you can set up an administrator's password, and once you set that up, you can also set a user's password as well. And then of course we have save and exit, the same thing as hitting the X up there. Now, for most people, you're more interested in the OC section. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna give you all of your options for overclocking, not only your CPU, but your memory as well. So you can set up your CPU ratio and you can set it to all cores or bi-core or however you wanna do it. And there we go down, you have all of these settings for overclocking. Then you go to DRAM settings. Of course, you can set your XMP profile this way. You can set it in this menu, of course, or right up here at the XMP. And what's really great about this stuff, if you're not familiar with what everything does, as I'm hovering over these, as you can see over here, it has a help section and gives you information on that specific setting. So if you're not sure what it does, it gives you that. So if you're new to overclocking or you're new to using a BIOS, you can of course see what all of these do. And of course this OC menu will also give you all of your voltages, and you can change all those the way you would like. Then we go down to the bottom here, we have our CPU specifications. So it gives us all of our information on the current CPU that we do have installed, and then technology support gives you all of the technologies that this processor supports. So if you're not sure, you can go in here and see that. We have memory Z, which will show you, if we go into here, all of the information on the memory that we do have installed here. So it all depends on what memory you have installed. And then you can do XMP support information, and it gives you all of that stuff right there. CPU features, these are all the features that our processor supports, and we can turn them on or off, enable, disable, and set them up how we like, all of that kind of stuff. If you want to turn hyperthreading off, you can do that. All that stuff is right in here. And that is it for our OC section. We go to M Flash, And what this does is this allows you to flash your BIOS from say a USB drive or something like that, and you can also save your BIOS to the storage, so you can save it to a flash drive if you want to save this BIOS and then you change things around, or you're upgrading, you want to make sure you have this one saved. You can go ahead and do that. It makes it very easy to flash our BIOS here. OC profile, what we do is we can actually load overclocking profiles, up to 6 profiles we can save and load. So if you have a certain profile that you want that you don't want to use all the time, you can go ahead and save it and then easily load it right here. Hardware monitor, of course, what that does is it brings up our monitor here. This is on temperatures, so we can see our CPU and what it's running at and all of that, and then we can actually load in our system here and we can see our system temperature, which will be our motherboard temperature. It's actually pretty cool that it's all of this, you know, in the BIOS. You can see everything and you can set all of your fans to full speed and do all that kind of stuff in here. And of course we have a live view of all of our voltages right here as well. So again, it just makes it very easy to see how your system's running, maybe before you get into Windows or even before you install Windows. You can get all of this information on all of your settings and your fans and everything like that, how everything is running, which is actually pretty cool. Go ahead and close that out, and then we have our Board Explorer, which is actually pretty cool. What it does is it gives you a full overview of your motherboard. So you can see we have a graphical overview of our motherboard, and we can see what's installed. So we can actually hover over here and we can see that we have DDR3 memory installed here, and of course we hover over this one and it shows that it's empty. Hover over our CPU socket and it shows that we have our Core i7 790K installed. All different kind of stuff. It's actually pretty cool. It lets you know what everything is too. So if you're not really sure what something does or what it is, you can hover over it and get that information. So the BIOS works really well. It's really fast. I haven't had any issues with it glitching or not saving or any of those things. Everything that you want to do for overclocking, again, is in this menu, and it's everything that you'll need. So I haven't had to go somewhere else to find something. Everything is right in this menu. If I want to adjust the BIOS and clear things out, or I want to overclock my CPU easily, I can do that. Everything is right in this main menu. I like how they have it set up so you have all of these different sections that just puts everything in a good section, so you don't have to search around for it. Everything is extremely easy to find. So if you have any questions on MSI's Click BIOS, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And remember guys, if you like our videos, why don't you subscribe? Catch you guys later.